Hey, how's it going, guys? Got a review for you today. Thank you so much to the folks at Gadzooks.com for hosting. What you're looking at here is the Victorinox SwissTool Spirit, and this is the Plus model. Basically, there are two versions of that. You get one of two kits, either the wrench or the ratchet, and this is actually the ratchet version. Just wanted you to see what this looks like coming out of the box. I figure a little unboxing and a little red and green is always nice, holiday season. Here are the instruction manuals, and if you don't mind, I'm actually going to use this as a cheat sheet. For this one right here, you have a little diagram of all the different tools and a table listing what they are. And basically it just lists how to use, for example, the corkscrew attachment, and I'll go into that in a second. This other instruction manual is in a bunch of different languages. We got, in addition to English, German, we got French, Spanish, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, and Russian. And you have another color diagram of the tool itself. So I reckon it's for people with other languages to figure out what the tools are. And as you can see in this diagram, you have the option of either getting a nylon sheath or this leather one right here. I got the nylon one, which I really like a lot. On the back, you just have some care instructions. Basically, it just says right here that if you get the tool wet in salt water, just rinse it out with fresh water and then oil the spots that are labeled in red. And I'll try to take some pictures of these diagrams and append it to the end of the video. Going to the tool itself, it's right here. Get this nice nylon sheath. I really like it a lot. Fit and finish is excellent. And right here you have a little belt loop. It's kind of thin. I was able to fit it on my belt, but it's kind of I wear a 1.5 inch thin rigger's belt, and I was able to get this through. If you have a thicker leather belt, you might have some trouble right there. So pay some attention to that. Opens and closes with a Velcro closure. Would have liked to snap, but so far it hasn't gotten weaker on me. And I really like this nice metal Victorinox logo on the case. I think it adds a little bit of style to the package itself. Speaking of style, I don't often use words like elegant and sexy for a multi-tool, because I consider it just some object that I use to get the job done, but the fit and finish on this thing is excellent. As you can see, the case holds all of the little attachments and tools that come with it. I'll take this out right here, the case on the side. And before I get to the actual multi-tool itself, let me talk about the ratchet system. Right here, unlike some other multi-tools, it comes with bits, but the bits don't go into the tool itself. You use this ratchet, which comes with it. Now, this is more of a personal preference. For example, if you had something like, say, this Leatherman Charge TTI, also available at Gadzooks.com. Some people might want the detachable bits to be a part of the tool itself, so that way you can just take out bits and then add it on. And that is something to be said. That means like everything you need is in the tool itself. But one thing that I noticed is when you have it on the tool, say I stuck in a Phillips head right here, and I need to screw something, I would turn it, and then I just turn the tool. By having this separate from the main tool, I get two advantages. One, this ratchet system works much better because, as you can see, I can turn it much faster. And if I want to do it the other way, I just flip it over to switch directions. So, say I take this hex bit out, and as you can see, you get a few bits and then you get some extra spaces to put some additional bits that you can probably purchase from Victorinox as well. Say take this, fit it through the wrench until it snaps in, and as you can see, I can tighten it, and I'll click over, and it's much faster to tighten. And if I wanted to loosen it up, I just take this bit out, flip it over to the other side, and then I can unscrew just as fast as well. And it also comes with this reaching extension. So say I had to get to this hard to reach spot, I just pop out this attachment right here, stick the reaching tool inside, then put the bit in, and as you can see, I can reach those hard to reach places. And if I need something even longer than this, what I've done, and I don't know if this is correct usage, but right at the bottom of the actual ratchet itself, you can stick the bit in there, get that extra bit, and then you just use the reaching tool as a pivot. I don't know if that's advocated, but I've used it and I haven't had any problems using it that way as well. I said there were two advantages. So one is you get to use this as a separate tool, which is even faster than having to turn this whole tool by itself. The other advantage is this is kind of thick. Leatherman did a really good job of making this thin, but still it's going to be a little bit thicker than a dedicated tool. By leaving this as a separate piece, the actual multi-tool itself is nice and thin, so it's really sleek, and you can fit more tools next to it, or reduce the overall size of the tool itself. As you can see, if I compare these, the Spirit right here is much thinner as a result, so I really like that. As you can see, it's really nice fit and finish. In fact, when I have this laying on my desk, when the sister or the girlfriend or anybody come by and they see these tools, they reach for this one just because it's nice and smooth. Although this isn't uncomfortable or painful by any means, just by the fact that it has all these little protrusions, when compared to this nice smooth-sided tool, this just seems a little bit more hand-friendly. Another thing that I really like is the fact that you'll notice all the tools are on the outside and not on the inside of the tool, which means I don't have to open it in order to access it. That's a really big advantage in terms of convenience. For example, here, if I want to get to any of the tools, I got to open this up and pull out the tool and then close it back up. With this, never have to open it up. I can just reach and pull out the tools, and that tends to be kind of the balance for a multi-tool. If you have the tools on the outside, you'll have all these sharp protrusions and you have easy access, but it's not as comfortable. For other multi-tools, they put it on the inside, which means it's comfortable to grab because no sharp protrusions, but you lose the convenience of having it. With the Spirit, you have the best of both worlds because you have easy access, but they did such a great job of contouring it that there's nothing here to disturb your hand. So I really like that. So before I get to the actual pliers itself, I'm going to use this as my little cheat sheet. Hopefully I don't mess this up. So let's start with the corkscrew adapter. As you see here, there's like a little hole with that kind of gets smaller at the end. Basically what you would do is you get the corkscrew piece, and it has this little plastic protector which you just unscrew to slide off. And you'll notice it's a half circle, so you stick the half circle, this wide section right here, and then you just push it up until it gets thinner, and there you go. And if you use corkscrews a lot from your multi-tool, this might be inconvenient because you have to take this separate piece and add it in. I never use the corkscrew, so I actually don't mind this just because it doesn't get in the way, and it leaves this nice smooth contour for the tool itself. So it really is up to you. If you really use this a lot, you might want to go to a different Victorinox multi-tool. But for most people, I think this is fine. Another thing is this protector that slides in actually has a small jeweler's flathead screwdriver at the end here. So it's not any wasted space. This actually has a function as well, so that's really nice. So just slide that in, move this over to the side. And then let me just start pulling out tools here. All of the tools lock, and then as I open it, it locks into place. To disengage the lock, you just pull this back, and then you disengage it. As you can see, it locks into place. So you have this really nice aggressive saw blade. I actually used this in my backyard to cut some branches. I was just forgetful. I wish I had remembered to bring my camera out and just take a picture of me, or a small video of me sawing off a branch, but this works extremely well. This aggressive saw blade is excellent. The only thing you might have problems with is because it has these layered teeth that work really well, it might be kind of a hassle to sharpen. So if you have a really good sharpening kit and you have a lot of patience, you'll be able to do it. Otherwise, I would recommend taking it to a professional or sending it back to get serviced. Next tool in line, as I open this up, got a nice punch. Haven't used this yet, but a lot of my friends who do woodworking really like having an awl punch as a part of their tool. Next thing right here, you got a bottle opener and a large flathead screwdriver. Turning it over, you have a chisel, and I hardly ever see this. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen this on most multi-tools. A chisel. I didn't know I needed this until I actually got one, and now I use this all the time. I've used this to scrape gum off the bottom of an old desk that I bought. Got a wire stripper right here, which is really nice to have. It's great. I just use this as not only as a chisel, but as a slight pry bar. Whenever I need to get something and wedge it out, or wedge two things apart, this is great. Seriously, small little items, if you need to get the lid off a jar or something like that and you need something to wedge in, this is the first thing I go for. You would never want to use a knife blade, but with this nice chisel right here, it's excellent. And then you have something of a controversial tool right here, the butter blade. A lot of people call this the butter knife. Some people hate this, they just don't like the shape or whatever. I haven't had any problems with it. As you can see, it's chisel ground, so it's only ground on one side here, it's flat on the other side. And unlike most knives where the serrations are close to the hand and the flat part is out, this is reversed. I don't mind it either way, and in fact, with the flat blade closer to your hand, it's easier to cut things and do fine motor work with this. And then you can saw off larger fibrous materials at the end right here. It's worked fine. I don't hate it or really love it either way. It just is functional, and that's all you really need it to be. Switching to the other side, I have a file with different sides right here. You have a coarse and a finer, and then along the edge right here works really well. I actually used this to modify some pieces of a project I was doing, to just kind of file off some sections and some rust spots off of some parts that I was using when building a model. You'll notice that whenever you get some things that are cast off a mold to have little extra bits of plastic, this is great to shave it off. Next piece, you got a can opener and a smaller flathead screwdriver. You have, pardon me, one day I decided to cut my nails. You have a Phillips head screwdriver. This is a pretty standard size. Most of the things I've had to use are about this size, so I haven't had any problems of needing other bits. And even if I did, I would just refer to the ratchet and one of these little sections, or I'd probably go shopping around and try to find extra bits that would fit it. Next thing, smaller flathead screwdriver. And then the last tool, let's see if I can get this out, is the scissors. Now this is one hit I will give to this, is because of the way the resistance bar is laid up against it, the resistance is fine. As you can see, it pops up. But look at how small of a mouth you get on the scissors. You can't really open this up too wide. I would have liked the bar to come a little bit lower down the handle so that this can open up wider. The resistance is excellent, and it is sharp. If you can get this around paper, that's fine, but that's about all you're going to get it through. As long as you can fit it in the mouth, you're fine, but I would have liked the scissors to open up further. But other than that, it's really good. Opening out the tool itself, locks really nice into place. You have the needle nose pliers right here, a wrench bit, and you have really good wire cutters right here. I've actually had to use this to cut through a coat hanger because a friend got locked out of his car and he needed just a long piece of wire, and instead of having to take the time to twist it, just cut the head off and then turned it over. Worked really well. So that's pretty much the Victorinox SwissTool Spirit Plus. It's a lot of bang for your buck. Just go to gadzooks.com and check them out. I really like this version. Like the sheath, like the ratchet, all the little bits. That's the only thing I would recommend is go online and try to buy extra bits to fit in these spots. Maybe you won't use these, maybe you'll have some preferences for other bits to use. But altogether, it's a really nice little kit that all fits into one lightweight package. So if you guys like this, go online and check them out at Gadzooks, and hopefully you like this review. Thanks for watching so much, guys, and thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye.